And welcome back everybody to KJC Invitationals. This is the upper bracket finals and we're gonna be your shoutcasters for today. I'm Dash and I'm here with Husky.
And a great series ahead of us. We are now finally in the top 4 of the Invitationals and we have, a full Malaysia-Singapore lineup. This is the upper bracket finals. Only one team is going to make it to the grand finals or at least earn their spot. The 𝗵𝗇 eSports, they have shown us an amazing run. Same with 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. These two guys have had probably one of the best storylines coming into this Invitational. So how dominant they are. But now I want to see if they can overcome 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃.
Yeah, we're going to have a 10, but he starts it off exclusively with 3 kills already on mid. 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 left with 2 members. Go on to A side. They're going to be discovered here by 𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋.
And the camera is going to be out as well. And like you said, right, 𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋 getting the
One enemy remaining.
camera out of 𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋. Peeks from heaven and eliminates him. And 𝗲𝗏 becomes the last man on the site. They have one more sky smoke to block out that A main just in case. And 𝗲𝗏 back his turn. And they're going to find him. And now 𝗵𝗇 eSports with a quick round 1. 𝗏𝗏 so gets himself a 3K.
Yep. This is going to be the start of the phase here by 𝗵𝗇. Going to be able to take this pistol round. Very, very crucial to get it to set the face of the game. And soon as it starts, 𝗵𝗇 was able to get 3 kills. And that is very commendable of them. Again, everyone, as a background for both of our teams, Ascent is the pick. Right now of 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃, and they are really good on this map. So 𝗵𝗇 has a lot to take cover for him right now that they're on the defense side. It's gonna be really crucial for them to win this pistol rounds, and they should be able to get the domination for them. KO actually getting those informations for the team, and now it gets still started.
Yeah, and of course, just to give clarity for our map pick, we have Ascent, the choice of 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 for game 1. After this, we head over to buying a map choice of 𝗵𝗇. And if we go to a game 3, it's going to be Breeze picked by 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. And of course, for Ascent, 𝗔𝗔 and Astra are both banned out, which is why we're looking at the Brimstone for First Love, and we're looking at the Omen for 𝗵𝗃. Again, this is all about adapting to the situations handed to the teams. And of course, I think the 𝗔𝗔 and Astra ban was huge. Especially, you have 𝗵𝗃 who plays Astra a lot, First Love as well. 𝗔𝗔 𝗵𝗇 especially also not available. 𝗏𝗏 gets a good one tap, and members of 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. Paranoia was a bit late, and 𝗏𝗏 is gonna shut 𝗵𝗃 down.
One enemy remaining.
Flush, but 𝗲𝗏 out of his hiding spot, and Forsaken, last man with the spike on that B site. I mean, he has 30 seconds left. Perhaps he can.
30 seconds left.
Other than that, I mean, this is most likely going to be 𝗵𝗇 eSports round.
Yep, that is going to be easy for them, because right now he would be able to get the plant onto B, which would give them credit.
Spike planted.
And if Forsaken at least takes one down with him, that could be better for the team, but that is going to be 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 falling down with a 2-0 𝗵𝗇. Starting this defense side very flawlessly. Is able to at least get some info against 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 on mid.
Flawless.
And that's the reason why 𝗵𝗇, as a team, very, very aggressive, especially on the defense. I was expecting them to play like this, but now everything jump starts back, because members right now, 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 would have their guns. This could be pretty shaky one for 𝗵𝗇, and they need to play around their Spectres if they want to get a dent on 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃.
And for 𝗵𝗇 at the same time, their journey into this upper bracket final with 𝗷𝗔𝗟𝗢𝗥, right? They 2-0-5 Ace eSports in group. They went 2-1 against 𝗔𝗟𝗏, 2-1 against 𝗫𝗠 in the upper quarterfinals, and 2-1 afterwards against 𝗠𝗔𝗟𝗢𝗥 in the upper semi-final. So they have had this, kind of a full series journey into this upper bracket final. Should have made it, and there were a lot of times you question, can 𝗵𝗇 give us more convincing wins? And so far they have been able to do so on certain occasions, but there are also maps that it's very evident that 𝗵𝗇 isn't as good on compared to 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. And Ascent is 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃's home turf. 𝗵𝗇 with that 2-0 start is a pretty good opening.
Getting this first is really crucial, as you said, because right now this is not one of their comfort maps. Looking at how
One enemy remaining.
Kills at mid, and now that's a step back for the side. side for the squad to lead. Because right now, PRX was able to get a flawless round again.
That is 𝗵𝗵𝗥. That was a buy round, and Bleed was not able to do anything, you know, to deal with 𝗵𝗵𝗥, and that means 𝗵𝗵𝗥, they get a flawless round. Now they don't have to rebuy anything. Best case scenario going into round 3, but Bleed eSports, they will be able to finally get their full buy. None of these guys have their ultimates just yet. It should be a pretty manageable, at least for Bleed eSports. Now they will be able to stand on the even playing field as 𝗵𝗵𝗥. You do have Forsaken and Jing working as tiles and first love. So a couple of tabs through that Sky Smoke, which is not gonna find anything. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 actually based with the ultimate orb, but almost loses life. And that 𝗏𝗏𝗏, now he's able to send out those arrows. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 watching that A long as well. And for the rest of 𝗵𝗵𝗏, they have to back off.
Yeah, 𝗵𝗵𝗏 backing away. Now this is gonna be the 4th round, and where everyone has guns, everyone is on equal ground. It's gonna be easier for them to set it up. But as you said a while ago, it's just that 𝗵𝗵𝗏 really is fast at the update. Even if they go for default, they look really fast. When it comes to the timings, they're always right. And when it comes to like how Jing is starting, is able to cancel him out. He gets one
Spike
more,
down
but the
A.
buy answers back with 2, which could be good for the side of 𝗵𝗵𝗏. Opens up A a bit. And this is going to be the chance for them to push through. With one more member on side, 𝗵𝗵𝗏 has their
One enemy remaining.
Go through, but this is going to be the kills coming in from Bleed, and 𝗓𝗏𝗏 shuts them down. It's going to be PRX losing that round against Bleed.
Yeah, huge round for Bleed. And first love, he was the guy who clutched it out. He killed off Jing while he was still nearsighted by the paranoia. That really put a dent into 𝗵𝗵𝗏's plan. It took 3 guys to take out this Brimstone, and sure enough, I came in with this own 2K, but it really bought enough time for Bleed to iron out the retake.
Wow, this
it
is
just made things so much easier. They do have the orbital strike online right now for first love, and that is definitely going to make a lot of difference when it comes to those retake situations. Frosty just has his operator out. 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 is going to scan it before he can block it out. This is a decent start for 𝗵𝗵𝗏. At least none of them were picked off, even though Frosty's all too fast for 𝗵𝗵𝗏. Now that he's nullified because he just cannot follow up with anything. Hunter from Dabai, trying to search for some contact, not going to find anything. Too late from first love, and 𝗵𝗵𝗏, they will keep everyone alive.
What's important about it is they forced them away of the situation, and now 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is going to go in and all command proving to be
Spike down
very hard
A.
to deal with. So now Bleed eSports needs to go for a retake here. That was really fun for 𝗵𝗵𝗏. Now with an all command, nobody will be able to cancel them down. It's going to be easier for them to just
Spike
get the
planted.
out, get to help. They're primed and positioned for this next coming minutes that we're going to be seeing
more
them
charges
try and take this side from 𝗵𝗵𝗏. So now Bleed has a big order. Good info a while ago that Frosty's, they know that he has an operator. This is going to be a hard take for them. So let's see how they're going to do it.
And there's a flank coming from because they had the paranoia. My face to get 2 kills. Frosty was not paying attention.
One enemy
𝗏𝗏𝗏
remaining.
just get 𝗏𝗏𝗏 out, but he is super low in the back because the wind going off his feet. 𝗵𝗵𝗏 will be able to win the round and retreat that operator for themselves.
Oh no, they didn't get the operator, Husky. 𝗵𝗵𝗏 didn't really want it, because they really want to go for that aggressive pushes rather than going for defaults. Every time, they're not going for the typical long setup where you wait for 30 seconds before you go and push it aside. They give themselves some time. Like what happened a while ago in mid, when that orbital strike hit. Been really crucial if that was 30 seconds on the clock, but considering that they pushed 1 minute in, it could be easier for them to go for the rotate, and that's why they went in, take a side.
Get out of my way!
But 𝗵𝗵𝗏 really getting this info game against Bleed eSports, and it's proving to be really hard, especially a while ago they denied Frosty the first game just because of the info game, even with the recon ball. Now, with the equal round on site, Bleed eSports would have a hard time, but that is going to be the push onto A side, and this is going to be the new rules that get it.
Yeah, and that is a lot of information from If he lands his daggers, only take out 𝗏𝗃𝗏. It could have been a bit more. Was
Spike
able to get
down,
the
B. Last player standing.
All of that Hunter's Fury, but Jing is somehow in workshop.
I got the spike.
The last man alive retrieves the spike. He will be able to get it planted at least, and he gets the reset on his Blaze Storm.
Spike
This
planted.
is crunch time for the Jet of Paper Res. Can Jing pull it off? But that's not to spot him, but first love will. So it will be Bleed eSports still keeping this round within control. They will keep that lead and extend it to 4-2.
And remember, everyone, this has been a really good rivalry for both of our teams. It was easier for them there on, but there has been a history for both of these teams. Bleed eSports and Paper have been battling it out on
Thrifty
region since before, and they have been at odds against each other. But the last one, it was Bleed eSports who got the win against Paper. So this is not as far off as people think it could be, because Bleed eSports, look at them, they're really mopping down the floor with Paper, and they're really catching off to them. They're racing off with them, and now Paper has a challenge. Now they lost the equal round, and the equal round against Bleed eSports, and they lost out, and that says that is a big loss to their economy. And now with that, they need to win this next round if they don't want to be forced to this equal round.
Yeah, and that's you made a really good point. Forsaken with the flash, that bounced the way he wanted, I assume. And you brought up a really good point, right? The last time these two guys met was in the grand finals of VCT Stage 2 M1SG. Of course, back then, Bleed formerly
Blocking sight.
They won 3-0. They qualified for the finals, and because of that, they did not have in Stage 2. This is kind of a rematch, right? It's been long overdue, and Paper does challenge left, right, and center. Jing was able to win that.
I know
Frosty,
exactly
and
where
now
you
they will have their own neural threat. Courtesy of Mindfreeze to reveal the positions of where the
Spike
eSport
planted.
is. They have 𝗏𝗏𝗽 working around the flank. So can expect him to come through market. The rest of the eSports scrambles to retake the site. On their side, 𝗏𝗃𝗃 takes the up and kills off 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃. So now Bleed eSports, they are gonna find it pretty hard to retake this objective, especially with 𝗏𝗏𝗽 sneaking his way through a market. 𝗏𝗏𝗃, he has no idea. Neither does First Love. And
One enemy remaining.
Take out 𝗏𝗏𝗽's head. First Love does trade him back, but the damage has been
Down and out.
They're gonna come in and try to at least go for the exit, but First Love still takes out Jing on the way out. And as the spike goes off, Jing, if he goes down, he's
Last player standing.
First Love with kills, and he's gonna give this life for this. The damage has been dealt to the economy of Paper despite him winning the round.
And they needed that damage. That's the reason why First Love was just there waiting for them. At least now, some of them have light armors, and that is what's important on the mission of First Love during that time. He didn't really need to go for the defuse, but at least was able to damage this one. And this is gonna be hard again for Paper. Bleed still has some things to work with. 𝗓𝗏𝗃 is on the Judge. First Love is on a Spectre or a Bulldog. But still, this is workable for Bleed eSports. They have two ultimates. They have the Orbital Strike. They have the Viper's Pit. So they can hold off a lot of pushes coming in from Paper. Paper needs to put their best foot forward onto this next round if they don't want to lose the next one after.
So now we'll have his Viper's Pit on that B main. So that is going to completely block off any form of entry, at least from Paper. And they have the spike still dropped outside of tiles. The Paper kind of adopting a very patient approach, but we do have Frosties working in the market. You have First Love from the back B in front of spawn as well. So they have these crucial angles covered, and of course 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 can pull out the toxic screen anytime that cuts through from mid all the way to A short and then A main. A lot of line of sight can be easily blocked off by Bleed eSports. So we see Paper. How do they want to play this? Seems like B might be the option that they go for.
Yeah, they might go for a push onto B. This is gonna be mid. Oh, they want to go to mid to at least cut off the rotation. With that recon ball to distract. Jing was forwarded up with the Viper's Pit. It's not going to be easy for them. They are going to be forced back out of the way. But they're
30 seconds left.
And 𝗓𝗏𝗃𝗃 won't be able to get anything, any info against them. 𝗓𝗏𝗃𝗃 is now
Enemy down.
pushing through, but 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃
Spike
gets a double
down,
kill.
B.
And now Bleed eSports, now they are on the driver's seats. They have the
Revealing
advantage
area.
now. Harder than push 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 careful if he doesn't want Jink to get this. He's trying to play his cards right.
10
He
seconds
knows how to
left.
do this.
Eddie.
One
The Viper
enemy
goes
remaining.
down, and the last one is 𝗃𝗃. He's super low in HP just because of the Viper spit. Now he's regenerating. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be the push.
One enemy remaining.
Good fall down, but they got the time, and 𝗕𝗟𝗃 was able to seal the deal in the end. And this is gonna be eSports getting one more round against 𝗃𝗃.
And that was not a full buy as well, right? Some of them have bulldogs on the side of Bleed eSports. Huge props to 𝗕𝗃. Unfortunate for 𝗃𝗃, they wanted to clear, you know, that spawn area, but they both lined up for 𝗕𝗃, and that really hurt them. And of course, you have First Love with the second orbital strike of the game already. And this time it really worked out. Sure, Jin got onto the site, but the rest of 𝗃𝗃, they were cut off. They can't really enter from the D main. 𝗃𝗃 was stuck there for the longest time ever just because of the Viper's pit and everything falling into place for Bleed eSports. And 𝗃𝗃 will continue their momentum by taking out Forsaken. 𝗃𝗃 also kind of severely injured outside of that A main. And he's gonna join the rest of his team. They have the camera from 𝗃𝗃 in case they decide to abandon that area. But with everyone from 𝗃𝗃 spread thin, they're gonna be feeling more confident to go for the push. 𝗃𝗏 gets the kill on the Frosties, but he's down to 7 HP.
They know that they're on an equal round. Couldn't be easier for them to take down a lot of advantage that they have right now. And the rotations are this is good call, honestly, for 𝗃𝗃, because there's a lot of setups on A, and that's the reason why they didn't even went for the push on A side. Market could be a potential push here. If they go for the mid push, it could be easier for them to infiltrate onto the side. But right now, 𝗃𝗃 is just taking their time on how they're gonna push this, because Bleed has been leading them dry right
No
now.
mercy.
Wow. Pushes, because the HP, he's just pushing his. Oh, he pushed
Spike
his luck.
down mid.
Able to
One
get the
enemy
shots there.
remaining.
Another one 𝗕𝗃.
30 seconds
For a
left.
triple kill. Really interesting to see, but now 𝗃𝗃 play with fire. He's now low in HP. Most likely gonna have a hard time here. There comes the push. Let's see. He wouldn't be able to get it. 𝗃𝗃 would get the gun upgrade, and he might be running away with this. He's gonna get the Phantom, and this is what's important for him, because at least on the next round,
10
he
seconds
wouldn't
left.
be needing to buy a gun.
Oh, Alexi actually didn't tag him with the spy cam. He had the cyber cage as well, and that spy cam ping would have guaranteed the win for the gunfight against 𝗃𝗃. So unlucky there for Alexi, but in the biggest scheme of things, this Bleed eSports once more with that victory. So they're leading 3 rounds so far, and 𝗕𝗃 once more being the hero of the team, getting the first kill with that free fire, and afterwards just using that tracers from the guns of 𝗃𝗃 to follow up with 2 more. And this is just Bleed eSports showing why they are here, and sure, you can still say that 𝗃𝗃 are the better team overall just because of their achievement, but doesn't mean that Bleed eSports is not gonna make it easy. And they were the only team ever since stage 2 who has been able to beat 𝗃𝗃 in MYSG. And so far, no other team has been able to accomplish the same feat. So Bleed eSports, they intend to
Powerless.
Here comes an all man. Once waiting for them to use it, and that's gonna be the first kill for a second. It's now down for count. They would need a lot of effort in order for them to revive him. So this is gonna be hard for them. But there comes the revive. That's gonna be good for the team. But still, Forsaken falls down, which is gonna be easier for Bleed to be able to retake this. That is some good timing from Lexi. Now,
Spike
with
planted.
that, they were able to infiltrate onto the site. They would get in the first plant situation, but would they be able to get more? The generator has been infiltrated. Heaven is gonna be the target, but there comes the tracers onto them. The recon is coming in, and it's gonna be hard to 𝗃𝗃.
One enemy remaining.
𝗃𝗃 was the hero of that round, was able to clutch it out for the team.
incredible performance from 𝗃𝗃. He was playing in hell the entire time. He uses from the shadows. He gathered the information for his team, and of course, with the help of 𝗃𝗃, the spy cam, the tag on the 𝗃𝗃 threw him off the scent of 𝗃𝗃. 𝗃𝗃, he was about to check hell. They knew that 𝗃𝗃 was there, but that again, the spy cam dark really made it so hard for First Love and the rest of his team from Bleed eSports to kind of go for the retake. With 𝗃𝗃 with just pure composure on this Omen, got that win you kind of break the momentum of Bleed eSports. Still, Bleed eSports, they have the lead and they're under Fury to take out 𝗕𝗏𝗽 as 𝗓𝗏𝗽 started off with a good trap. And try once more, gets 2 on another B main. Now he's going to use that from the shadows again from that outcharge to get onto that B side. He will be able to get this spike down. Man, you have to really give props to him. Mindfree even catches 𝗑𝗟𝗍 on the way out. The shout down from 𝗓𝗏𝗽 will not be able to catch 𝗓𝗏𝗽, and 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗥 sets themselves up for another win.
One enemy remaining.
The gun barrel of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will take care of that, and the only guy left is 𝗓𝗏𝗽.
And we have seen 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏 gets this clutch round, but would he be able to get this onto the next one? Because they have an idea on where he is right now. It's going to be the recon bolt to at least help him out. So would he be able to get it? He's trying to fasten it up. Jing is still waiting for him. Or he might go for the savior. Because right now, it's going to be 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 getting the momentum against Bleed eSports just because of 𝗵𝗏𝗽.
Last round before the switch.
Team. And now with that, they are now going to be on 𝗕𝗏𝗽𝗍. Look at this. Some of them are on half armors and specters just because of that loss from 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Yeah, and you can see the butterfly effect from 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So 𝗵𝗏𝗽 uses from the shadows. He checks for info, and right after that, he got 5 kills. That's 5 out charges. Starts off round number 11 with 2 extra kills. Gets his ult back up. Pours onto Boathouse, get the spike planted, and 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 just like that with 2 rounds in a row. Really have to give credit to 𝗵𝗏𝗽, but 𝗓𝗏𝗽, he's not done yet. In fact, he's able to win that fight against Jing, and even takes care of Mindfree's camera. So 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, even though they have the full buy, one less member, it's gonna be tough to do it. First love, not spotted out, but they outdrawn, but they don't have the info to work with. At least they don't know where 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will be. So PRX, they'll kind of start to make their way away from that A main and see if they can get any pickouts on the other parts of the map.
And they would need to get this neural theft if ever someone falls down. If 𝗑𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 would be able to pull that off, they would know on where the rotations are coming in from the side of PRX. So that's going to be crucial for them to at least hold them out. Because there's a Hunter Sphere neural theft on the side of PRX too. So they need to be careful also. Because 2 members are on B side. Most of the members of 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 are on A. And they are looking for the push here. They're trying to be very patient, but if ever that Bleed would be able to sniff this out, this could be easier for them to actually hold them off. So the recon bolt is coming in. It's gonna be up and ready, but still 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 down. Here comes the push.
They do have the Molly, but then Molly
30 seconds left.
In fact, Mindfree wins the fight. Mindfree tried to push for 3, but loses to 𝗑𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and thankfully was able to dodge that Hunter's Fury. So 𝗑𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 stays alive, but the ultimates on the side of 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 have been exhausted. Mindfree going down, means that there's no neural theft. 𝗓𝗏𝗽 will get the plant. They have the outdraw from 𝗓𝗏𝗽. He's gathering some intel, and he sees 1 at 3, and that is pretty taken care of.
One
by
enemy
Frosty.
remaining.
He's gonna come Forsaken with the transfer and almost touches it out, but Bleed eSports, they have the numbers and they will be able to keep this round alive. They still maintain the lead. They close out the first half 7-5.
Forsaken almost about to make it work just because of the spray
Switching
transfer.
sides.
But Bleed, the very linchpin that they needed during that round was 𝗑𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 getting that neural theft to call the rotations from the members of Bleed eSports, and that is really crucial for them to get. And with that, at least they got the advantage against 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, because right now 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is going to go on the defense. This could be easier for them to do because based on what they have did since the past matches, they're really going for the aggressive pushes. Whenever they go for the calculated push, it's always going on their side. But right now, it's going to be real hard for them to get this because looking at the momentum shifting to the side of Bleed eSports, it could be easier for them to start this. So in order for them to get the equalizer, they need to win this pistol round.
𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they did not win the first one, so let's see if they can, like you mentioned, find that 7-7. Bleed eSports on the attack right now. If they can take out 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on Ascent, this is another statement from this squad. You know, for Bleed eSports fans, you know, those that have been following them since before they were known as Bleed, I think even the organization that picked them up, this is kind of them striking diamond in the rough. The fact that the roster of Bleed eSports has been phenomenal so far. 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, they do have a flank for both Jing and Forsaken out of that B main, but that has been quickly swallowed up by 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and Frosty puts 1 through Forsaken, and now Jing's completely trapped in tiles. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will try to flush him out with a recon dart. This is gonna take Jing, and so unfortunately he's not able to react in time. For the side of Bleed eSports, they can slowly work their way towards the site. And 𝗲𝗧𝗼𝗔𝗍knows where Frosty is, but first love is going to be watching. Wins the
Spike
fight.
down,
First
mid.
love gets the spike down. Does escape. 𝗲𝗧 and Jing also goes to stay down. Frosty forced out by the shock dart, but jar_praise was able to get Jing back. So we're back to a 3 versus 3 situation.
30 seconds left.
Yet to find their way onto any site.
Equalizer right here. Good kills from both of our teams. And here Rex just opens up A side just because of that lead. Would go in and
One enemy remaining.
Gonna pull down. It's gonna be a 2v1, and it's Bleed getting an advantage against 𝗵𝗚𝗄, and that is gonna be a statement. This could be easier for them to snowball through and push through more advantages in their favor.
And that is going to give Bleed their second 1-up round. So we're looking at a possible 9-5, depending on what 𝗵𝗚𝗄 decides to do. It seems like Jing have other plans. He will invest in that Marshall. And also you see 𝗲𝗧𝗼 with the Sheriff as well. At least do some damage to the economy of Bleed eSports. So far on the attack, when it comes down to Bleed eSports on attack, they have been pretty surgical. Kind of like how you see them play defense. And the growth that these guys have had over just a short, I believe, 5-6 months has been incredible. Now 𝗏𝗏𝗘 will be playing in this close range alongside both 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. They have Jing on that mid top. That will be spotted out very quickly by the spy camp.
Yeah, now with this, they're gonna be stacking up on A side. So that's gonna happen, and that is not expected for the side of Bleed. They're getting pushed back. 2 members falling down already, and that is really smart plays coming in from 𝗵𝗚𝗄. Even though that they're on and they're not yet dying. This 𝗲𝗧𝗼 was able to get one more. This is what they needed. This is the flare that I was expecting from 𝗵𝗚𝗄. 𝗲𝗧𝗼 might be able to get one more kill here, and Frosty would not be able to get the shot onto him. It's going to be hard for Bleed to be able to get this one, but now with that equalizer is what they needed. This is going to be the advantage for them because they have better guns anyway, so they need to just be careful for 𝗵𝗚𝗄. Right now, they have a chance to turn this pistol round loss to a win onto the second round.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
Bleed eSports, they know that someone is on the flank just because 𝗏𝗏𝗘 just took out the trap.
Player standing.
Oh, gets caught by the Marshall, and Jing makes that work. And that is what 𝗵𝗚𝗄 is made out of. You give them the eco, they make it happen. And it all started with that forsaken flashpoint on that A main, just flashing 3 guys. They push on forward. Sure, it's a 2-for-2 trade, but in the bigger scheme of things, you really want to damage Bleed eSports economy. And in fact, they won that round. So Bleed eSports, they will go into this 3rd round of the second half with almost nothing. But Frosty is investing in the Phantom, but probably looking at pretty iffy buys. Whereas for 𝗵𝗚𝗄, they're in a very comfortable spot.
Yeah, they're now on an advantage against 𝗵𝗚𝗄. I mean, against Bleed, and now this could be hard for Bleed because they weren't able to buy a lot during that round. They really stuck onto their chefs. Some of them stuck onto that. And that's the reason why they weren't able to get big advantage. They weren't expecting to push onto A side. Right now, with this, 𝗵𝗚𝗄 has the confidence to get that, because if they get the Blade Storm onto the next 2 rounds, it could be easier for them to get more advantages for them. Frosty's trying to fight it out with Jing. Now on low HP. Get more of this, and that would be Frosty's. Not going to be opening up the site anytime soon for the team. This is what's good with Bleed's composition, because with First Love and 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏, it could be easier for them to go onto the side. And also, they have the force. That's why whenever 1-4 is still okay. But 𝗵𝗚𝗄, the way that they play around the enemy is so good that they are just getting a lot of kills. Falls down again. The last 2
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Any time to no avail, they're not gonna be able to get any kills, and that is a flawless round for 𝗵𝗚𝗄.
Yeah, and because they won the round before that, that flawless round just makes it even better. It's the icing on the cake for 𝗵𝗚𝗄. Their crests are going to look incredible even if they lose this round. For Bleed, they go into their first buy round on attack, and 𝗵𝗚𝗄 have been solid on defense.
And they have been really good at the defense right now, especially that Bleed isn't expecting the pushes coming in from 𝗵𝗚𝗄. That's why every time
Smoke's down.
surprise is always there. Right now, but they've adapted already to how 𝗵𝗚𝗄.
Poison's gone.
And the info that they needed was able to get the kill onto 𝗔𝗍𝗍, giving them another advantage. And also, remember, they have the Blade Storm also onto Jing. So if ever they want to go on to long-range fights, they can go for it. This is really smart to use, especially the use of Forsaken here is really smart for the side of 𝗵𝗆𝗥. So now Bleed eSports are now at a disadvantage again. So I'm kind of expecting that 𝗵𝗆𝗥 would just take over this advantage, hold on to it, and just throw it in the face of Bleed.
And Bleed, they are now spread out. Spike is with First Love, who is at the top area. And for the rest of 𝗵𝗆𝗥, they are just gonna anchor down onto site. You can see that 𝗏𝗏𝗡, he will be playing at that close angle on that lane. So 𝗏𝗏𝗡 takes out the trap wire, but he will not make any further advancement. And in fact, he might just be playing on that as a lurking Cypher. Whereas for the rest of the eSports, they have some plans on that A main. Forsaken with the fragment does kind of get some
30 seconds left,
and it is going to be the Q for the eSports to make an execution. Recon down shot in as well. Jing will use the guys to protect himself. And Forsaken is also there to back him up. Shoots Frosty out of the sky. The rest of the eSports, they're gonna make their way through mid, but there's a trap wire that they need to go through. And the vibe is right there. The 𝗏𝗏𝗡 will not deploy in time.
10 seconds left.
I think the eSports will be able to get the spike down. This is just damage control for them. They need to keep their guns, and 𝗵𝗆𝗥, they want to hunt them down.
They were able to get the gun, so it's gonna be good gun upgrade.
Last player standing.
They are been taken down. Bleed didn't get any guns during that time, and now they're bleeding slowly. So 𝗵𝗆𝗥 getting good guns, getting good credits with 3 consecutive rounds in their hands. They might be able to get an operator if they want to, but they're just going for those rifles, and they are sitting on a pretty good advantage against Bleed. And now with this, is going to be going for a timeout. Bleed needed that timeout for them to go for a reset on their mental, because right now nothing is working whenever they go for the push. 𝗵𝗆𝗥 is just good. They just need to hold on to this.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the second half, 𝗵𝗆𝗥, when it comes down to attack, they have been masters of offense. Bleed only was able to win out 1 round, and that was, the pistol round. And 𝗵𝗆𝗥, ever since then, has not given Bleed any ground. And look at 𝗵𝗆𝗥, 3 ultimates not available. You have the no command, you have the Hunter's Fury and the Blade Storm as well. This timeout will need to, it's super crucial for Bleed eSports to kind of reset that mental, and most importantly, come up with a plan on how to stop 𝗵𝗆𝗥, because some gunfights are starting to skew in the favor of 𝗵𝗆𝗥.
Yeah, now it's gonna be what they need. Yeah, as you said, this is the timeout that they need in order for them to at least reset, and they have some time with this eco round also in order for them to get and adapt on how 𝗵𝗆𝗥 is doing the defense. They're rotating a lot of members, which is why
Launching
they
smoke.
wouldn't get the read onto them. They wouldn't be able to crack the code if 𝗵𝗆𝗥 would just really change it. Like every round, they're changing the code. That's the reason why they're having. Here comes the push.
Spike down B.
They were able to equalize that, but the spike is already on the side of B lobbies, and this is going to be a hard push for them. That was going to be unfortunate. So right now, Bleed eSports are free to rein in just because they know that the spike is not on their hands. So Bleed is just going to be able to go for flanks.
Yeah, and now they retrieving it head on. It's just kind of a suicide mission for Bleed, because they're working on their eco. Like you pointed out, they have a lot more freedom to work with, and 𝗏𝗏𝗽 is going to catch wind of Bleed. It's going to start it off by taking out 𝗔𝗍𝗍. The rest of Bleed are pouring in, and 𝗏𝗏𝗽 knows that. So now 𝗵𝗆𝗥, they can adjust themselves to
1 enemy remaining.
push. 𝗏𝗏𝗽, let's get a trade down to 𝗏𝗏𝗽. Wants to retrieve the guns before this.
That does not compute.
Just a quick tap on the hit, and 𝗵𝗆𝗥 take the lead.
What was that tap coming in from Forsaken? He has been building up his confidence since a while ago, but now he has it. He knows that he would be able to win almost all of the fights. Starting off with was kind of iffy that they lost a lot of members for the eco round, but they were able to make it work. 𝗵𝗆𝗥 are really performing out of their minds right now, especially with Jing holding on to the operator. Big push might happen. There's going to be a lot of info on the side of 𝗵𝗆𝗥, so this is not going to be easy.
Shock dart.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, shock dart. Right at the gateway, dart takes off the tile. Correct. by and 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃 not phased by it. In fact, first let's lose his life. Look at Frosty. He is just tough in the corner. 𝗲𝗧𝗼𝗍 now gonna throw out that Hunter Fury and he's gonna tag, I believe, 2 members of 𝗑𝗍𝗼𝗔𝗡𝗥. This
Comrade, cage trigger.
Now it's gonna be the push.
Trick
It's gonna be
shots.
happening.
One enemy remaining.
It's just cleaning the whole up, and it's gonna be hard for Bleed. Just look at that. One member standing. All members are still up. Right now, only one member fell down. So 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃 has got their groove on against Bleed, and they're getting the 5th round as a consecutive win against Bleed.
Bleed still struggling to, to crack the code against 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃. And 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃 have had this ironclad defense so far, and Bleed have not been able to find that opening. And every time they try to go for the execute with the members of 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃, they just hit back hard.
Get out of my way!
See if Bleed can finally get the solution. You have Jing watching this B main with that operator. Frosty's obviously has his daggers out. The rest of Bleed eSports will be playing near A, is where they're gonna hold and try to get us.
Give me
comes
those
close, and Frosty's with precise accuracy takes out Jing. That's your upper off the table of 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃, and First Nerf is now gonna join him in that B main. Bleed eSports, they haven't made too much moves just yet. We'll see how 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃 responds to this.
That is gonna be good start. Jing falling down with an operator. Might be able to get the gun upgrade onto Frosty's, which would be really crucial for the team. So they just need to play around
Here.
this investment
Deploying
that they were able
drone.
to get just because of that. And now there's the push coming in from the side. It has been discovered though, so it's gonna be hard for them to at least get out. Because if that was able to hack
Revealing area.
to 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃, it was easy. But now 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃
Last player
that
standing.
is gonna be destroyed from their side. And Bleed just leading them out. Here comes the 𝗍𝗼𝗥𝗃 for the side of 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃.
Yes, good execution from Bleed. All started off with Frosty. Takes out Jing. 𝗵𝗏𝗀 wanted to hold the angle, but they had the out drone. They had the crossfire set up. They committed the orbital strike to clear out both house, but most importantly, it got them the sight. It got them the win. And now Bleed, they are still super close to 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃 and can easily tie this up. They just need one more good round. And in fact, they only lost 2 members in that previous round. And the Jet had the Blaze-Storm available, so he didn't really have to invest into any guns. 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃 though, they have 4 ultimates for this round, so careful. And as I say that, Frosty with the newly retrieved op is going to take out 𝗵𝗏𝗀 from that A main.
Oh, you were able to get another kill, and that is the reason why Bleed has been winning the rounds. I mean, whenever Bleed is able to get at least 1 kill against 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃, that is the time that they try to slow it down. If not, they slow it down, they try to take it back. That's the reason why, 𝗍𝗏𝗽𝗏 is able to get the kill onto Frosty's, equalizing his advantage, especially that now he has the null command. It would be harder for them to push onto A side.
Take flight.
Every setup that they could do onto the post plan would be nullified by that KO.
And 𝗲𝗏𝗽 is going to see the real guard, so he knows where 𝗏𝗏𝗃 is. It seems like Bleed eSports planning to at least go for that AA hit. 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃, see, no one is on site. At least 𝗲𝗏𝗽 is the closest one, but he's playing on 3. The rest of the eSports, they're about to pour in. The sharp guard's gonna just slightly attack 𝗔𝗣𝗍, but he has to find the fit, and this is where Bleed eSports wants to take control. They get the side planted, looking for the equalizer. Again,
Nowhere to run!
3 ultimates now available for the side of 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃. You have the Hunting Fury from the side of 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Try and find some members of 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃, but he's not going to be able to find the same fight from 𝗔𝗣𝗍 just to delay the imminent push from 𝗏𝗏𝗃. They set Forsaken on the flank. They have Jing
Scanning ahead.
coming in from 3 as well. Recon dot. Most Sova's getting shot out. And it's just a pass from the side of 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗃. 𝗲𝗏𝗽 by 𝗏𝗏𝗃 with that red string bullet. And Jing's going to go in. Takes out 𝗔𝗣𝗍.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Forsaken switches from the op. Doesn't get the touch off. It's First Love with the 4K on this Brimstone. Gets the equalizer.
What was that? Gets a 3K, then pulls out the off for the 4th, and that is Forsaken First Lover performing out of their minds during that round. That null command was committed just because they needed to find a way to pull them back out of the Viper's pit. They were able to make the distraction, but First Love was able to take them all out. And now 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 are on. Slowly, their cash have been draining out. They're almost bankrupt right now, so they need to win this round against Bleed. If not, Bleed would try and take over. So now, 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 need to be careful onto this next round.
And that is the third operator in a row purchased by 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. So they have to make this count. Like you said, right? Whoever loses this round is gonna go into bankruptcy, and that is not good, because whoever loses this round goes to the
Blocking
eco,
sight.
most likely will lose the next one and has a high chance to give their opponents that match point. This is super crucial for both teams. And this is pretty expected on the set, especially when we're talking about the two, I wouldn't say rivals, but the two teams who have been going at each other's throat since stage 2. And 𝗔𝗍 is gonna take out 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and that's the outfight won by 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 to start it all off.
And that's the reason why they're playing it slowly, because if they would be losing one member, that could be bad for the team. But now, losing one member, especially 𝗏𝗏𝗏s, it's gonna be harder for Bleed eSports to be pushing onto the side. They need to push in bare walking, not even having a dash from the 𝗏𝗏𝗏s. So gaining this is crucial for
30 seconds left.
They're gonna go for a push here.
Scanning it.
And 𝗔𝗟𝗏 is waiting right there. With that, 𝗔𝗟𝗏 is able to get one more, so 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗏 he swings it out. And it's gonna be the push onto the side.
Blocking sight.
Has an operator, doesn't have the flamestorm. Gonna be crucial on who wins this though, because if he would
10
be able to get
seconds
out
left.
next year, it
Spike
could be
planted.
the deterrent to win this.
3.
And now 𝗔𝗟𝗏 gets the tree.
Last
This is
player
gonna be the last
standing.
ones, the last on the side of Bleed, and now 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 is able to get it with courtesy of 𝗔𝗟𝗏.
Great op plays from this jet of 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 across Forsaken, and going for the last push to toss out a casual flashpoint. Nothing that First Love could do in a 1 versus 4. And this is where Bleed eSports will face their biggest challenge of the match. The economy has been completely broken. You can see that these guys, they are just buying up at least the Sheriffs and light shields, I assume, because if they lose this round, they will need as much crest as they can get. So all of them going for Sheriffs and light shields. They have the orbital strike and the neural depth that could assist them to at least tie up the score against 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. But it's gonna be hard because 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃, they have the operator still on the side of 𝗔𝗟𝗏.
Especially if they 𝗔𝗟𝗏𝗏, that would be really hard. 𝗔𝗟𝗏 holds his operator for more rounds. It could be the potential match. Since a while ago, 𝗔𝗟𝗏 has been wreaking havoc for the team. It's just creating chaos every time they would fall down 1 by 1. So there is a chance for overtime. But the count was good shock darts coming in from their side. They now have an idea because the tripwire is going to be the push onto B. But with the
Enemy mark.
is really looking at that, and with the info given to the team, the 𝗕𝗟𝗏𝗏 and they were able to open up the side a bit.
I know exactly.
Getting the molly. What was that? Mind freak right now would fall down. Would Bleed be able to
One
get
enemy
down?
remaining.
54 Lexi would be able to get the last. This is gonna be a 1v3. 𝗏𝗃𝗏 was able to clutch it up a while ago. So would he be able to get this though? This is gonna be crucial for 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃. It's all in his hands for 𝗏𝗏𝗏s. He was able to get the thrifty for the team, and that is Bleed taking over at another equalizer.
Just again another masterful usage of the utility. That molly, I don't think 𝗔𝗟𝗏 noticed that there was the molly from the brimstone just because of the sky smoke. For 𝗏𝗏𝗏, he actually saw it, so he stopped right before he walked onto the spawn. You can see he tilts when he tries to clear. Spawn. He takes out, I believe, 𝗲𝗏𝗽, and right afterwards he stopped because of that molly. 𝗔𝗟𝗏 walked in without knowing, and he was tagged before that. And it really
Revealing area.
eSports just having everything fall into place. Now they have equalized the score, and they have forced 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃 onto iffy guys, at least only onto Forsaken. Everyone else still have those rifles to work with. They still have heavy shields on 3 out of the 5 members. But Bleed having the advantage for themselves now. They're looking to push it to that match point. Good thing for 𝗕𝗟𝗥𝗃, Mind Freak has neural depth, 𝗲𝗏𝗽 has Hunter's Fury. That might help them still win on this round.
They might be able to get it. that round for 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧. They were now on very even
No
like I
charges.
said, because looking at how it's gonna work, it's gonna be just easy for 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 to get this. At least they
Cover
got the
going
advantage
out.
because of the damage from a lot of their members. So now that 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 has this advantage, it's gonna be hard for Bleed to go for the push. They need Frosties during this round. They need Frosties to get the first kill before they get the big advantage. So now, they are really slowing it down, and they're waiting for the chance to use their ultimates. They have their Hunter's Fury and 𝗔𝗣𝗅, and they need to at least survive before that
Flashbang.
30 seconds is going to be the push.
30 seconds left.
Flash.
Oh, this is going to be super hard though. Both flash points are used. First up, swings for Jenny and actually takes it off. But this is a Hunter's Fury, and it is huge.
Spike down A.
Jane gets swung by Lexi, who comes in from 3. Now they're gonna close the door. Double cover to block out generator. Bleed eSports would have to run in and get the spike down, but here comes the shot
10
guard.
seconds
This is
left.
crucial, but finally for Bleed. Away from default. Now Fighters get the wallback to 𝗔𝗟𝗢𝗥𝗔𝗡 down. So this is still winnable. Operator in the hands of Frosties as both
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Mind free against Frosty. Who's gonna win this out? As Frosty, he has pulled out those daggers, and this is gonna be crucial for Mindfreak. He knows that Frosty can only be a generator, and Frosties will find the 3K and send Bleed eSports to that match point.
Match
Wow,
point.
match point for Bleed eSports. They are making it work against 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 now. It couldn't be easier, because look at that. They wouldn't have any guns onto this next round, and it's gonna be hard for 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧. They need a miracle in order for them to win this, but they have the Blade Storm Jing, and Mindfreak has the 𝗔𝗟𝗘𝗥. So at least if they would be able to get the first kill, they might be able to get this into overtime. This is gonna be crucial for both of our teams. Having Bleed take the advantage is not what 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 wanted all along. This is their map, this is their neighborhood, but Bleed is bleeding them dry with how it's going out during this round.
Deploying drone.
And I mean, what an amazing performance, right? The flash does come out from Forsaken, but
Standing
𝗏𝗏𝗏
ahead.
Immediately stops that in the tracks. So there's nothing much that Bleed could do in this situation. In fact, I mean,
Enemy tagged.
for Bleed, they now knowing that they have the gun advantage, all they have to do is to play discipline. Just be patient. Last time that they played on Ascent, Bleed won out against 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 15-13, and that was again the VCT finals for stage 2. So 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧, they haven't won Ascent against Bleed since then because they have not met since that stage 2. But this is kind of the rematch, and once more we are almost in the same position with Bleed taking the lead, and it's just one round away from eliminating or at least winning against 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 on their best map.
Yeah, they're conditioning 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 that they're gonna go somewhere, but now they're gonna go into a side.
30 seconds left.
Sky smokes. The paranoia would come in to at least stop them from pushing. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 would be able to get it, slowing them down. And this is what they needed. The slow push. 20 seconds to the clock. They need to push onto A side. They need to find a way to get in.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Lexi
10
would be able
seconds
to get
left.
the win. It is
Last
crucial
player
for them to get
standing.
this. This is the last player standing, but they would be able to. Bleed
Attackers
was
win.
able to win against 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧 on Ascent, and now we're going to game 2, and that's not what you want to see.
I cannot believe it. I mean, Bleed, the 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧, they did phenomenally on that round. We know they threw all the utilities, but Lexi once more on the flank catches everyone off guard, gets the win for themselves, and it seems like Bleed are still the team on Ascent to take out 𝗵𝗵𝗥𝗧. Last time they won, this time they still won. Now they take 1-0 in a series.